Hey everyone, and welcome back for another deep dive with us. Today we're taking a look at something that's been making huge waves recently, and something I know a lot of you have been requesting we cover, artificial intelligence, or AI as the cool kids call it.
Yeah, AI is definitely having a moment right now. It seems like it's everywhere you look.
It really is, but it's also one of those things that can feel kind of overwhelming. Like,
Yeah.
where do you even start? And how do you separate the hype from the reality? I know I've had those moments of like, whoa, is this the beginning of the Terminator? But then other times I'm like, hey Siri, play my workout playlist, so it's a real mixed bag of emotions over here.
I think that's a pretty common reaction to AI these days.
Mm.
It's both fascinating and a little bit intimidating, all at the same time. I mean, think about it.
Mm.
We're talking about machines that can learn, solve problems, and even understand human language in a way.
It's like something straight out of science fiction. But before we get too carried away with the sci-fi scenarios, maybe we should start with the basics. For those of us who aren't computer scientists, what exactly is AI?
Well, at its core, AI is about creating machines or software that can perform tasks that typically require human intelligence. Things like learning, problem-solving, decision-making, even things like understanding and responding to language or recognizing images.
So it's not just about robots taking over the world, although I have to admit that's the image that pops into my head first.
Uh-huh, yeah. The whole robots taking over the world thing is a popular theme in movies.
Mm.
But the reality of AI is a bit more nuanced. It's not just about creating machines that look and act like humans. It's more about leveraging the power of computers to do things that would be very difficult or even impossible for humans to do on their own.
Okay, that makes sense. So it's not necessarily about replacing humans, but more about augmenting our abilities.
Exactly. AI is a tool, and like any tool, it can be used for good or for bad. It all depends on how we choose to develop and use it.
So before we dive into the ethics and the potential risks, which I definitely want to talk about, let's focus on the present. What are some examples of how AI is already being used in the world today? Besides suggesting what I should watch next on Netflix.
Well, Netflix is a great example, actually. Those recommendations you get are powered by AI algorithms that analyze your viewing habits and suggest content you might enjoy. And it's not just entertainment. AI is also being used in healthcare to diagnose diseases and develop new treatments, in finance to detect fraud and manage risk, and in transportation to develop self-driving cars and optimize traffic flow.
Wow, so AI is already having a pretty big impact across a lot of different industries.
It really is. And it's only going to become more pervasive in the years to come. As AI technology continues to advance, we're going to see it being applied in even more creative and innovative ways.
Okay, so we've established that AI is more than just a buzzword. It's a real technology with the potential to transform our world in profound ways. But like with any powerful tool, it's important to use it wisely and to be aware of the potential risks. So let's shift gears a bit and talk about the ethical considerations surrounding AI. What are some of the things that we need to be thinking about as AI becomes more integrated into our lives?
That's a great question, and one that's being debated by experts all over the world. I think one of the biggest concerns is the potential for bias in AI systems.
Bias. Can you explain that a little more?
Sure, so AI systems are trained on massive amounts of data. And if that data is biased, then the AI system will learn those biases and perpetuate them. This can have real-world consequences, especially in areas like hiring criminal justice and loan applications, where biased AI systems could lead to unfair or discriminatory outcomes.
That's a really important point. We need to make sure that AI is being developed and used in a way that's fair and equitable for everyone.
Absolutely. We also need to be mindful of the potential impact of AI on employment. As AI systems become more sophisticated, they're going to be able to automate more and more tasks, which could lead to job displacement in certain industries.
Okay, so this is where the whole robots taking our jobs thing comes back into play. Is it really a realistic concern?
I think it's definitely something we need to be paying attention to. But it's not necessarily a simple equation of robots replacing humans. It's more likely that AI will augment certain jobs and make them more efficient, while also creating new jobs that we can't even imagine yet.
It's like we're on the cusp of a major technological shift, and it's hard to predict exactly how things will play out.
Yeah, it's a really exciting time to be alive. We're witnessing the birth of a new era, and it's up to us to shape it in a way that benefits all of humanity.
I like that, shaping it in a way that benefits all of humanity. Okay, so we've talked about bias in employment. Are there any other ethical considerations we need to be aware of?
Well, there's also the whole question of AI safety and control. As AI systems become more intelligent and autonomous, we need to make sure that they remain aligned with human values and goals, and that we have mechanisms in place to prevent them from causing harm.
You mentioned AI becoming more intelligent and autonomous. It's kind of hard to wrap my head around that. What does that even mean?
I know, right? It sounds like something out of a science fiction novel,
Mm.
but it's a real possibility. We're already seeing AI systems that can learn and adapt in ways that were previously unimaginable. And as these systems become more complex, it's going to be increasingly important to ensure that they're aligned with our values and that we have a way to control them if things go wrong.
Okay, so to sum up, AI is a powerful technology with the potential to do a lot of good in the world.
Yeah,
But it also comes with some risks that we need to be aware of and address proactively.
that's a great summary.
So what do we do? What's the next step? It feels like we've just scratched the surface here.
Well, one thing we can do is educate ourselves about AI. The more we understand about how it works and the potential benefits and risks, the better equipped we'll be to make informed decisions about its development and use.
Okay, that makes sense. Learn more, ask questions, and stay engaged. But where do we even start? It feels like a pretty vast and complex topic.
Yeah, it can be overwhelming.
Yeah.
But there are a ton of resources available online, and there are also some great books and documentaries out there that can help you get up to speed.
I'm definitely going to check those out after this. But for now, I'm eager to dive deeper into some specific examples of how AI is being used. I'm ready for some real-world applications.
Okay, let's do it. Why don't we start with healthcare? There are some really amazing things happening in that field right now using AI to diagnose diseases and even develop new treatments.
Okay, I'm all ears. Let's talk healthcare and AI.
So let's talk about how AI is being used to improve diagnoses and treatments in healthcare.
Okay, yeah. This is an area where I think AI has the potential to really make a difference. Like, imagine if we could catch diseases earlier or develop more personalized treatments.
Absolutely, and that's exactly what's starting to happen.
Yeah.
One really promising area is in medical imaging. AI algorithms are now being used to analyze images like X-rays, CT scans, and MRIs, and they can often detect subtle patterns that might be missed by the human eye.
So it's like having a second pair of eyes, a really, really smart pair of eyes that can spot things that doctors might overlook.
Yeah, exactly. And this can be especially helpful in cases where early detection is critical, like with cancer. For example, there are AI systems now that can analyze mammograms and detect breast cancer at earlier stages than traditional methods.
Wow, that's incredible. So we're talking about AI potentially saving lives by helping doctors make more accurate and timely diagnoses.
Exactly. And it's not just about detection. AI is also being used to help doctors develop more personalized treatment plans. By analyzing a patient's medical history, genetic information, and lifestyle factors, AI algorithms can help doctors tailor treatments to the individual's specific needs.
That's amazing. It's like having a custom-made treatment plan designed just for you.
Yeah, and it can make a huge difference in terms of effectiveness and reducing side effects. I mean, think about it. In the past, everyone with a certain condition might have received the same standard treatment. But with AI, we can start to move towards a more personalized approach where treatments are tailored to the individual patient.
This is really exciting stuff. It feels like we're on the verge of a revolution in healthcare.
We really are.
Yeah.
And it's not just limited to diagnosing and treating diseases.
Yeah.
AI is also being used to streamline administrative tasks, improve patient care, and even develop new drugs and therapies.
Okay, so it's having an impact on pretty much every aspect of the healthcare system.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say that AI is going to transform healthcare in ways that we can't even imagine yet. And it's already starting to make a real difference in the lives of patients around the world.
So all of this is incredibly promising, but I also have to wonder about the potential downsides. Are there any risks associated with using AI in healthcare?
Well, as with any new technology, there are always potential risks that need to be carefully considered. One concern is the issue of data privacy. AI systems rely on vast amounts of patient data, and it's crucial that this data is handled securely and responsibly.
Yeah, I mean, healthcare data is some of the most sensitive information out there. We need to make sure it's protected.
Absolutely. There are also concerns about the potential for bias in AI algorithms, as we discussed before. If an AI system is trained on data that is biased in some way, it could lead to inaccurate or even harmful diagnoses or treatment recommendations.
Okay, so we need to be very careful about how we develop and implement AI in healthcare to make sure that it's used ethically and responsibly.
Exactly. We need to make sure the AI is used to improve healthcare for everyone, not just a select few. And that means addressing issues like data privacy bias and access to care.
So it's not just about the technology itself, it's also about the social and ethical implications of how we use it.
Right? AI is a powerful tool, and like any tool can be used for good or for bad. It's up to us to ensure that it's used in a way that benefits all of humanity.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here. We've talked about how AI is being used to diagnose diseases, develop personalized treatments,